What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome again with another video. In today's video, we're going to discuss exactly on how you can get into high ticket closing yourself. So, in our previous video, if you haven't seen it yet, I told you guys and showed you guys on how you can get into appointment setting. But now, this is literally the full high ticket sales guide on how to land your first 10K month role. So, like, let's say you become an appointment setter, right? You become a remote setter. Now you want to get into a high ticket closing. You want to earn the big bucks now. So this is exactly the step by step guide on how to get into it, right? First, we're going to discuss on what is high ticket closing, right? What is high ticket sales? How could you become a remote closer? The three pathways on how you can get into it. The four ways to look for opportunities. And I got a bonus for you guys as well. A simple closing workflow that I personally use and what I teach to my guys who's make 12K a month, 5K a month into high ticket closing, right? So this is exactly I'm going to show to you guys today. But again, I appreciate your guys' time. I'll get right into it. But before that, my name is Elijah. If you're new to this channel, essentially I share and document my journey. And at the same time as well, I help guys who's kind of had some past sales experience trying to transition to remote closing, or anybody who's trying to get into remote closing. Essentially, I'm your guy. I help you guys out get into this space. And without further ado, let's get into it. So, first, what is high ticket sales, right? So, this mini infographic that I made here is very simple. This guy right here, this guy right here has a product. It's either his combined skills, right? Of maybe he's been in ortho teaching people on how to avoid certain things, or maybe he's a health coach, dating coach, right? He has some type of experience, life experience that he bundled up. Now he's selling it, right? It's not a physical product, it's a info product, essentially, right? It's his knowledge that he's compiled throughout the years. And essentially, he's selling this product. He is providing this service, right? Product is service, right? Now, I want to make sure you guys know the lingo. There's a couple lingos there that you're completely unknown of, but don't worry about it. I'll probably make a video about it. So product is essentially the service he's providing, right? That's the skills that he's acquired throughout the years, right? That he's owned in. Maybe he's a fitness coach, right? And he's packaging it and he's selling it. And typically, these products cost between. Let me zoom it in here, since we're going to be discussing this part right here. This product costs between 3K all the way to, I don't know, like 30K plus, right? It just depends on exactly what you're selling. There's a lot of out there. There's, business opportunity in for products. There's fitness service, service based models. There's mindset, right? There's a lot of things that people sell out there that you could essentially sell, right? Essentially, this person right here, this coach, this offer creator, advertises his product or his service through social media, through Instagram, through Facebook, through Twitter, or he has his own email list, right? And people are essentially becoming aware of this person. And next thing you know, this person, this people is looking, seeing his product and what he has to offer, are interested to work with him because he's working and talking with the people who is wanting to help, right? For example, someone is struggling on, building their e-commerce stores, for example, right? And they're struggling exactly in how to get into it. But he's built multiple stores in the past, couple millions in revenue, in sales, in drop shipping or building his own brand. And now he's packaged all of the information he's had and his time to work with the people who wants to get into it, right? So, and now people are trying to work with him. So this is where we come in. This is essentially the closer right here. This sly looking man right here. This is the closer. So this is closer. This is us, a closer. So closers bridge the gap because essentially this person right here, there's thousands of people trying to work with him. We're the one who filters this out. Maybe I could even erase this right here, right? We're the one who bridges the gap between these two, right? Because he can't take all the calls, or maybe he don't even know how to sell, right? So that's where we come in. So we're the one who bridge the gap, and we qualify the people who's trying to work with this person, and we see if they're a right fit, right? And then he works with them. And typically, this is conducted through phone calls, through Zoom calls, Google Meets, right? Essentially, again, we're working in tandem with the setter, right? And essentially, this how we close deals is we get book calendars, right? To close the deals and qualify them, right? Because to be honest with you guys, the way I see high ticket sales is not even sales. It's more of screening the person and see if you can truly help them out 100%. And I see a lot of people who get into this space, they think about this, they have this mindset of thinking, oh, I'm going to sell this product. No, it's more of, hey, can I help this person out to actually solve his problem? And is this person who I'm closing for actually has a solution, right? Maybe because maybe he doesn't have it, right? So having that, that mindset coming into it, you'll close more deals, trust me. And if you're an expert watching this, you know what I mean by this, right? So again, 3 to 30K is the package, right? And again, that's pretty much what high ticket sales is, or high ticket closing is we're the one who filters out the people who's interested working with our guy right here. And essentially we take the calls to make sure that they're filtered out so they can actually get the results, right? And that's pretty much what high ticket sales is, right? Service products, and they advertise it essentially, right? So from dating offer, right? Again, a lot of stuff, mindsets, right? Business opportunities, dating offer, fitness, right? A lot of stuff, right? And I'm going to tell you guys maybe down the line as well on how you can transition from closing to the next level. So, how can you become a remote closer? There's actually three pathways to take from it. So, like, let's say this is you right now. You're a complete beginner, right? Or maybe you just don't have anything, right? Zero path. So you're like zero experience right now. You're level one, let's say level one, and you're trying to get into the money, which is 10K a month. And you see sales as the remote sales as the opportunity, right? So I'll show you the different pathways to take, right? So the green one, essentially, will we'll do this as the pathway one. Pathway one, right? And then there you go. This pathway, what you have to do in this pathway is zero. You go from beginner, you get into an appointment setting position. You get in a setting position, right? Setting. You get in a setting position and stay here for while you're setting, you're learning the ropes of sales or remote sales, right? Because you're working in tandem with the closer, right? And you can ask them, hey, can I get some of your call recordings? I'm interested, to get into this. And I'll be honest, this pathway right here is actually one of the fastest pathway you can take, and it would probably take between 3 to 6 months, right? 3 to 6 months pathway, and then you can get into remote sales. Then you can leverage your experience, right, on getting working with other people in the high ticket closing space. Hey, I was setting. I would love to transition to remote sales now, right? And then that's how you could leverage this. This is probably one of the fastest way you can get into. I'll tell you guys the route that I took, and then other people's route, what other people's are taking, right? I'll show you the blue one this time around. The blue pathway, the pathway through two is this one. Oh, I don't know why I didn't change color. Okay, pathway. Why is it not changing color, bro? Okay, let me move myself. Blue. Okay. So pathway two, right? This is what I took personally. So pathway two, right? You're a complete level one beginner. You could learn a bunch of this. What it is. You do a lot of side hustles, right? Side hustle. You get into a bunch of business. You try to your as essentially you try to start your own biz. Try to start own biz, right? And then the problem here is what I realized. This took me I'll be honest, guys. This took me about 2 to 3 years. This took about 2 to 3 years. The pathway to took me to 2 3 years to even make my first 10K a month or some actual tangible money in the space. Right. This right here, side hustle, try to start a biz. Right. And each has their own upsides and downsides. Right. Here, I learned sales, marketing, creating offer, prospecting, figuring out on how to craft the right message, all those things, right? Took me, this is the very painful route. Like you're not gonna even see any results for maybe a year or two. Because again, we're starting from level one, right? You don't know anything about sales, you don't know anything about marketing, you don't know anything about creating the right offer. So you start everything from scratch, right? I learned offer on how to create an offer. I learned how to create content, right, which is marketing. I learned how to, you know, do sales, on how to prospect, how to find my clients, right? Eventually, after those route, I decided that there's also fulfillment, right? Fulfillment, right? I have to deal with clients, headaches, and all that stuff. I realized that I could just focus on one thing first, hone that focus in sales. So I came across remote sales, right? And then I was like, holy smokes, this is actually 10 times easier than trying to start your own business because I'm literally simply doing sales with book call calendars again. Here, right? Book call calendars from someone else's business, right? And I'm learning at the same time. So that's how I got into it. So again, timeline on this about 2 to 3 years. Now the pathway three that you can take, which actually is one of the best solid pathways you can take as well, is this. Oh shoot. Yeah. So pathway three, the color is a little bit ugly, so I might just use black on this one. Um, so pathway three is, let's say you're starting from scratch and you get into like door to door sales, right? Maybe you get into you get a customer service job, or you get into, you become a sales rep in person, right? And then this could take for a couple months to a couple years. It depends on how, if you just came across remote sales, then you're in the right place. You're literally on the best spot right now because not only you have some type of knack of sales, you have something to leverage, right? Or telemarketing, right? One of our guys is making 12K a month right now, and the inside the program, he's literally started at telemarketing. He was doing cold calling, right? Cold calling, but they're not getting any commissions through here. Now transitioning to remote sales, right? This could take between, it's up to you. If you already know remote sales now, but you haven't had any of these experience, could get into it right now too, right? Or like, car sales. This could take between few months to 6 months, all the way to, 1 plus year, right? Just depends on when did you come across remote sales. Why is that important? Because now you could leverage this experience that you have to get into remote sales. One of the best route ever, right? Pathway three. So these are three different pathways you can take to get into closing remote sales, right? First, setting, then transition to sales. About 3 to 6 months, right? You're learning about sales at this point. You're watching call recordings, you're doing mock calls, and then you leverage that experience that you have to get into remote sales, right? Or pathway two is you start your entire business, right? It could take, personally, me, it took me 2 or 3 years. And then I realized this is a lot of headache. Let me focus on sales first. And then I got into remote sales, right? And then eventually, after this is not the end goal, right? You want to have an exit plan, and then you can go back again and start your own business because now you have this, right? And then pathway three is you start something similar to this, right? There's some guys like Adam, right, who's making 12K a month right now, telemarketing, cold calling, right, and then getting into remote sales, and then You get inbound calls, commissions, same vehicle, but the lever is 10x better because the income is 10x better because you're selling a better product, you're selling an in-demand product, right? Compared to like something here where you're completely reliant on your boss's, leads, pipeline, or whatever, or you have to generate your own leads. Literally here, you get book calls in your calendar, and all you have to do is close that deal, right? So essentially you're still in sales, same vehicle, but it's just a better vehicle to get you to your goal, which is 10K a month, right? So now, four ways to look for opportunities. These are the four simple ways to look for opportunities. Again, guys, I'm gonna try to make this sweet as short, but if you're finding some value into this, if you could do me a favor, if you could hit that subscribe button, share this video to someone you might think that could need this video, someone we might think is helpful, let me know as well. Or if you have any feedback as well. But again, so four ways to look for opportunities, right? There's I'm going to show you, like, again, if you watch my previous video, I've already mentioned this. I went in depth in this, right? Facebook groups, right? Let me zoom it in real quick. There's different ways to do this. There's not one size fits all. But I'm going to also show you guys a new way that I didn't mention in the previous video, which is why I'm making this video as well, because I didn't get the chance to show it. So Facebook groups, right? That's one of them. Second is like IG, right? Third is Twitter, right? Fourth is, TikTok. There's actually more that I could think about. So all social media platforms, right? And five, so Upwork, Indeed, right? And then six are paid groups, right? So essentially, these are paid groups where the offer creators hang out. Ask yourself, where do these people hang out, right? Paid groups, right? And typically, if it's a free group or something, that's why Facebook group, there's a lot of scammy offers there. So you want to either go direct from, IG, Twitter, right? TikTok, directly to the offer creator, so you can get opportunities with them instead of Facebook groups. There's some middleman there, there's recruiters there or anything, right? I've shown you guys on how to get into this, right? So if you want to check that out, it's in the previous video, but I'm going to show you guys a new way that you guys can get into. Instead of having to reach out to them, right, what you want to do is document the journey. Not a lot of people do this. Not a lot of people who get into this space do this, right? Not a lot of people do this. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't do this. Maybe it's because they hasn't been taught. But so if you've seen this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by documenting your journey. So, for example, I have a Twitter, right? So in my Twitter, I tweet a bunch of stuff there. But there's also the way how social media works is you get a organic reach, right? For example, Instagram Reels, TikTok, or whatever, right? You get organic reach, and guess who are the people who watches this video? There's thousands and thousands of people that could you potentially get your videos seen, and a percentage of those people are people who are selling products, right? So one of my guys inside a community actually landed his position the same exact way I'm telling you right now, right? And this is personally how I landed some of my positions as well, right? Like there's people who's asking me and reaching out to me, hey, would you be interested to become our setter? Hey, would you be interested to become our closer on my Twitter? They just messaged me because they saw me that I was doing pretty well for myself into high ticket sales, right? They reach out to me and say, hey, so that you're in high ticket sales, are you by any chance still looking for any other closing offers, right? So once you actually perform, right, but obviously you need to be good, right? Or maybe you just need to document the journey. That's you want to document the story you're going into, right? What I mean by this is like just kind of share your journey, where you at currently, and then you get organically people getting to the space. So this also go hand in hand, right? So once you get this up and running from wherever you decide, either Facebook, Instagram, you know, Facebook. When I say Facebook, I'm talking about Facebook groups, right? Instagram, right? Twitter, TikTok, Upwork, Indeed, could even be LinkedIn. I haven't personally landed a position in LinkedIn, but I've seen some guys who's done it. So if you have, let me know, hit me up. I'm actually curious on how you can land a position in LinkedIn. So six, is paid groups, right? Paid groups is more quality because, it's more word of mouth, right? For example, in my community, we have a opportunities channel where literally we filter out exactly on how, like offers out there, like what's a scam offer, avoid that, right? And then we personally have networks in our networks that we actually screen, right? We hop on their call, we ask them certain criterias, checklist on if they're actually generating money or not, and then we refer it to the guys, right? So again, documenting the journey is one of the most important things because it goes hand in hand. Like, let's say you reach out to these people and they see your profile. Oh, this guy is documenting his journey. He's an actual person. Guess what they do? They're going to be more inclined to actually work with you, even though you don't have any experience. Why? It's because they can see who you are as a person. They see your work ethic, right? Share your KPIs that you're hitting. Oh, I just measured 200 people today, ready to do more, blah, 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 right? I just took 10 calls today. I just my record day on taking this much calls, and this is how much showed up, this is how much I closed, this is how much commission I made. Sharing these stories will put you on top of every other closers or setters who are trying to break into the space, right? And especially now, if you took pathway 2 or pathway 3, you can share your stories there and how you were able to leverage it. Same thing in pathway 1, right? Pathway 1 is shorter, but pathway 2 and pathway 3 have some that upside, right? Like, let's say if you have some experience on business documenting your journey, now you want to transition to remote sales because you just want to focus on getting inbound calls and just close deals and make money that way. It's also perfectly fine. Pathway 3, you're tired of the same vehicle that you've been in for decades, for years, or whatever, but you want to get into remote sales now, then sharing that journey is very important, right? Because you're not only being seen as a person and you're not just a bot who's trying to reach out to them, trying to spam them. They can actually see what you do, right? And they're going to be more inclined to hire you. All right, so the other one cut off. So this is how I would look into this space, right? So for example, you want to work with guys who's selling an e-commerce product or e-commerce mentorship service, right? This guy right here is working with e-commerce brands. This is B2B, right? So you can reach out to these guys, and the way I would look for other opportunities, right, is through this, right? This button right here will give you other ways on people who you could see, right? So look at this one. If you're a media, right, this is a graphic designing agency. It's probably not the best one because they don't have that much followers. Probably don't have any traction. This one is solid. Looks like he's posting consistently. Last time he posted was September, so maybe not. But so I would look this way. I'll just give them a shoot quick message. I'll craft your video about what exactly your experience is, right? If they're looking for a closer or setter by any chance, that's it. And then you follow up after an hour or two, and after that, 24 hours, right? And if they respond, and then you send them a personalized video, right? This is what I would do, right? This one is not the best, so I would go look for a different one, right? This, what I would do first is list out all of the people in the who you want to work with, which industry. So for example, this one is in the health industry. He has a podcast, so he probably doesn't have a coaching service, but there's people out there who has a coaching service. This one probably don't have one because he has 7 million. So again, I would go back in the drawing board and maybe, okay, well, how about Airbnbs, people who's teaching people who want to get into Airbnb, right? The Airbnb guy. Boom, this guy is selling some people to get into with Airbnbs, right? So I'd go here, funnel it through the way here. Boom, small business. He's an investor, probably not. I would probably reach out to him. Um, so this is the way I would do it. You probably want to spend a couple hours here per day. Okay, the way I would do it is I would list out exactly who you're gonna work with, right? And the KPI that I would hit every single day. First thing when you wake up is KPI to hit is hit 100 DMs. First things you wake up, 100 DMs to reach out to, and people who respond, send a personalized video. Send personalized video. Personalized video stating your experience, why they should give you a chance, give you a shot, right? And again, this is where the creating your documenting your journey will play a part because see, they know you, they could kind of stalk you for a bit, right? And then after that, you know, these are the people who responds, right? I would scale this up. If you have a limit, you'll get a limit on IG. Okay, well, you can't send more DMs. Then you go to a different platform and do that same thing. Oh, you can reach out to this now. Oh, you could do it on a different platform. Now, expectations is you want to do this for at least 30 days straight. I'll be honest, if you got do this 30 days to 45 days straight, you will land a position, right? You will land in for interviews. Objective first is get an interview. Get an interview. Interview, right? Very good interview, right? You'll probably come across 3 to 6 different offers. That's pretty decent. And then that's the average that we've been seeing. And the one offer that you will actually make 10K a month with, right? So again, that's the 10K plus month with. That's kind of like the expectation I would set for you, right? It's not easy. You're the one who wants to get into high ticket closing, so you're shining out for this. It's not easy. So if you think it's easy, you probably want to go look for another get rich quick scheme here. It's not easy. That's the expectation I'm setting with you. Now, again, I appreciate you being in this video for this long. So I'm going to give you guys a bonus simple closing workflow that I personally use. So let's get straight into this. I is introduction. Like, let's say you're taking sales call now, bum, bum, bum. I want you to mock this. Or introduction, right? You're just kind of like introducing them. Hey, what's going on? What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Try to get into it as fast as you can. Depends on which industry you're into. If you're in B2C, business or consumer, you want to kind of like build some rapport, build some trust between you and the prospect. But if it's B2B, you want to get straight to the point. You don't want to waste any time, right? Introduction, right? And kind of just, ask them a couple of questions here and lay down the agenda on how exactly the call is going to go. Hey, this how the call is going to go is this and that. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then the call is going to be a decision to be made. Does that make sense? Is that cool with you? Perfect, right? And you can pre-handle some objection here as well. Like, is there any partner that it needs to be here? Is there any? Does your wife needs to be here, right? So those are the things that you want to pre-handle here, because if you get it here at the end, it's kind of hard close now at that point. But you want to avoid as much objections at the end as much as you can. And then the next step, the next workflow is you figure out their goal. Why are they here? Why do they want to get into this vehicle? Why do they want to accomplish this? What have they tried? What do they want to accomplish? What are they currently doing that's got them looking into this, right? So there's a lot of things you can ask in this section of the call to figure out what are their pain points, what are they currently doing, and what are they actually wanting to accomplish here. What's their goal on getting to X, Y, and Z vehicle? E-commerce, it was their goal on actually getting into this space, right? What's their goal on trying to solve their dating issues, right? They're losing some weight because it's a fitness offer, right? Gaining muscle, right? What are they struggling with productivity with their mindset offer? Again, it's the same thing, right? This is the framework that I use. The way I see it is more holistically, where it's not fixed on one offer. The reason why I'm able to confidently say, hey, I could hop on any offer and close for your deal is because you have a framework or workflow you're following, right? Next thing you want to know is, I could go for hours for this one. That's why I'm making it very brief. I dive deep into this more in depth in my private community, right? Renaissance Closer. If you want to learn more about that, go check it out. But again, this is not a pitch or anything, but it's gonna be in the bio. This is essentially how you can get it step by step, right? So after you figure out their goal, you go to their desired outcome. What do they want to do? Like, let's say we work with you. Let's say we actually let you inside a program in the next 3 to 6 months. You do X, Y, and Z. What difference will it make, right? What's their desired outcome? How would they make me feel, right? And what if it you stay in that current situation, right? And next thing what you want to do is like, okay, cool. So you feel like now's the time. Make some urgency. Ask some questions, right? Is get to the pitch, right? And then once you figure out their goals, right? That's checked off. Your desired outcome, right? Their pain points, where they want to go. And then now you go to the pitch, right? Pitch, right? You want to section out to like three different pillars, right? And then you make it customized for them, right? Whatever it is. And then after that, you get the pitch, and obviously this is why we're getting paid as a closer is you go through the objection handling, right? So essentially that's a simple framework that I use. There's a bunch of objection that you can get, right? I might make another video for that. If this video reach at least 10 or 20 likes, then I'll make an objection handling video. But essentially that's my simple framework that I personally use myself. Obviously I kind of went brief through this, but if you just follow exactly what I've told you in this video, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't land your position within the next 30 days if you're actually consistent with this KPI right here, right? So this is exactly all you need, to be honest with you, to get into this space, right? You don't need anything else. This is what I've literally have used, and this is what we've also used, right? It's just you're probably like questioning yourself right now, is this even gonna work out for me? The main thing is you ask yourself, right? If this isn't, like, can I do this part-time, all these things? If there's a way, there's a will, right? I've been in the same exact position as you, and there's always a way to make it work out. Like, it's up to you if I don't make it work out. No one's forcing you to get into this space, right? No one's trying to get into the remote sales. No one's trying to do that, right? And it kind of sounds like I'm selling you right now, but the main thing is it's not easy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's not easy. It could be boring sometimes. You're taking calls after calls, right? Yes, we're financially free. You see the beautiful, lavish lifestyle you could live, right? Work remotely, make commissions remotely. But in all honesty, there's sometimes it's boring, right? Because you just sit down and take calls. Maybe you can take calls and your view is the beach, the Bahamas, right? But like, you also got to consider the time zone and all those things. And maybe you have to go to the time zone where you can actually work around the time. So you could be locationally free, right? You could be time free because you're setting your own schedule and when you want to take calls. You can be financially free because there's a lot of, you could make a fat ton of cash in this space. That's why I always tell my guys, hey, after you guys make between 30 to 40K in bank post tax here, what do you guys want to do after? Like, what do you guys want to do? Are you guys going to start your own biz, right? What's your exit plan here, right? What do you want to do next? Or do you want to start your own business, right? What else? What's the next move, right? So I want you guys to consider this, but I hope this is helpful and you guys found something helpful for this. I would greatly appreciate it if you leave a subscribe button, if you share this to someone who's in need and you think that would be interested in this space. But that's pretty much it. And if you still need help with this and implement this, or if you're confused, go shoot me a DM on Instagram. And if you feel like, hey, I want to work with you one-on-one, actually work with you personally, go check out the link in this bio and go book a call and see if we're right fit to work together. But again, appreciate you being here and taking your valuable time and giving it to me to share this with you. Hope you learned something, a thing or two. But as always, I will leave you with this. Be a creator, not a consumer. Create something today that will inspire you and others. Peace out.